Hey, Dave here. Welcome back to We Value Teens. Today I want to talk about location. Location for a center, a club. And I get asked this question all the time. Um, I want to use my church's basement. I want to use this place over here. I want to use this. And my response is always the same. Where are the teens already? Where is the group that you're trying to reach out to? Where are they already hanging out? Now, for us, it was downtown. It was the downtown district of our community. It wasn't the suburbs. It wasn't the outlying parts where everybody lived. It wasn't the industrial area, but it was right downtown. Now, we had two issues we had to deal with. One was, what are we going to do with loitering and teens potentially hurting local businesses? Another thing we had to worry about was cost. Where do we find a place that downtown the community will not hate us being at? And that's always an issue because as much as communities say they want teen centers or they want to provide something, it's iffy whether they really want to do that or not, because especially if you're downtown where local traffic is and teens are obstructing potential business dealings, and people, even if they're not business owners, don't want to see a group of teens hanging out around the outside of their building. So you need to address those issues. If you go to the industrial part of your town, um, where can teens hide? Where can young people get in the nooks and the crannies and the dark spots, especially in the evening when the lights have to come on and the sun goes down? Are your children in your care? Are they going to be safe going to and from the teen center? Because we've had times where we walked teens home because they weren't safe, even though we're downtown and they were on lighted streets all the way there. There's going to be an issue where that comes up, because when you get people together, especially two different groups that maybe don't align, maybe they're not friend groups, and maybe they purposely are enemy groups, you need to deal with safety first. So if you're going to be downtown, you got to be worried about businesses. Are you obstructing? Are you going to become a black eye? Are you going to be something that people don't want? If you're in the neighborhood, the residential area, are kids going to be in people's yards? Are they going to be walking around, cutting through yards to get to the teen center? So location is incredibly important because you have to be concerned about what the community is going to feel like when you're there. Your presence is going to change the dynamic of wherever you decide to go and exist. And so those are things you need to talk about. And I encourage you to talk to business owners, to talk to the city officials, to talk to the older person maybe in that district where you're thinking about starting a teen center or a youth center or whatever the organization is. Because you need to find a place that's safe, that's well lit. In other words, you can't take them to the dark parts of the city and maybe have lights around your building only. You need to think about the safety factor from step one to step two, from their front door to getting to your teen center. And so be thinking about those issues, safety issues, but also what is the community going to think when you're there next door? And don't be surprised, they're not going to enjoy that. And so find a place where it's zoned for you also. We had to change the zoning of our building, and we were able to do that. But sometimes you might not be able to because they may say no because they don't want you there. So find alternate places and begin that process, thinking through that. I hope this was helpful as you look for different settings and locations. I hope to see you in the next video.